Welcome back. Just before the break, we were talking about my guest's association with bank and the banking, international banking, and the banking in Bangladesh. Are you happy with the banking in Bangladesh as a banker?
Can that be a question?
Or is that a statement?
The banking sector is completely devastated. This has started for many years. And the previous finance minister, he was not too keen about controlling it. And in his wake, so many scandals in the banks have happened. And so much money has been looted out. And this has been further aggravated by the giving of these new banks by the present government, nine banks. All of them are struggling, most of them. Almost out of the 9, 7 of them are struggling really. And there is not much deposits available for banks to run after. And also we keep on seeing in the papers about money being flown out. But money flown out, so the Bangladesh taka has not flown out. Taka has remained here. Taka is worthless outside of Kolkata. But
the value of taka has gone up.
Value of the taka has been kept stable by the severe intervention by the central bank. I am told, we have read in the paper that they have injected about more than $2 billion, which is good to keep it stable at 84 taka, which is just over 84 taka now. But if the central bank would not have intervened, it
you mean 84 to a dollar?
84.5 to the dollar. The taka would have reached about 100 taka to the dollar. And I think it's a good just to keep it stabilized situation. And since we have a very good foreign exchange reserve, we can afford to do that. But the overall banks are not in a lending position now because there is not much available to lend out. And the system is totally almost in a doldrums, as one would say, in complete doldrums.
Yeah, welcome. We were talking about education, and you said that we need a specialized education. That's very good, you see. But Bangladesh is the greatest currency earner, foreign exchange earner, is a field where you don't need IT specialists and accountants and barristers and all that. See, it's just tailors. See, so we have become tailors to the world, and we are making money.
Garments, yes, we are tailors to the world. I was in the Marks and Spencer's, Oxford Street, just looking at some trousers, and all the trousers were made in Bangladesh.
Yes. And if you buy something from here and take it with you and give it to somebody in Bangladesh, and he says, "Oh, Bangladesh
will not accept it." I don't know why, but we are I think after China, second or third largest. I think second largest garment manufacturing country in the world. It is really a great achievement of the entrepreneurs.
We will possibly become the top because with problems of China and the US.
China has priced itself out. It's no more feasible. I mean, it's for higher end clothes, it's okay, but middle to lower end of clothes, it's no more feasible to make it there. So they have all, spread it out to Myanmar, Cambodia, Myanmar, and then some African countries now. And you see, let me tell you, the price of making a shirt back in 1985, cutting and making, I mean, what is the tailoring job was $6, 1985. 34 years later, it is still $6.
At the cost of?
It is $6.
At the cost of paying
everything else, the electricity, gas, water, labor, everything else has gone up.
True.
And you don't make much of money out of garments business anyway, the manufacturers. They hardly make any. It's the wholesalers and the retailers who make the money. The wholesalers at the end and the retailers. They are the ones who make the money. The manufacturer makes hardly anything, ends meet. And then, in order to make compliance, these English companies, they were brought in Accord and Alliance and everything, and people had to spend about $1.5–2 million, between $1.5 to $2 million for all this retrofitting of the factories, according to international standards and everything. Well, that's a good thing. So only who can afford them? Hundreds of factories have shut down. They can't afford it. So at one point there were, 3,500 factories in the country. Now, actual business is done by a few hundred, and they give away subcontracts. The overwhelming majority are doing surviving on subcontracts.
What about the wages of the workers?
Oh,
has it increased
quite substantially
since 1985?
The federal government has quite substantially increased. The new wage, which I don't know why the workers are not accepting it, is quite generous.
But how is it that often I see pictures of these laborers striking, complaining that they have not been paid for 3 months?
Some factories there are exceptions, but you see the ones who go and break the factories, they are not the workers. They are agent provocateurs, outside people.
Yeah.
A factory worker will never break his own factories.
Yeah, because that brings him bread.
That brings him bread. He will never do it. It's always the outsiders who barge in and does all this, this, what you'd say, total destruction of the factory, putting up fires and everything. So it's done, to achieve. I don't know what they achieve out of this thing.
I think just chaos.
Complete chaos. We had it in 2005, 2006 in Savar. We had this in a very acute manner, and it also happened during this sometime in the 2010-11 or something like that. So, but these things have gone up, quite contained. Now there's industrial police and other things, and the government is very strict on that.
Talking of industry, recently the gas price has been hiked.
I saw the claim that they're
How
saying,
can industries survive?
the claims that they're saying that if you want development, the gas price has to be increased. Then certain minister is saying that people have accepted the higher gas price. I don't know how they say this sort of dumb things. Gas is our own property.
Yeah, we are not importing it.
It's not importing it. You see, in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East countries, the price of oil is next to nothing.
Yeah.
Because they don't own the product. We had the gas. All right, it was cheap. In last 3 years, it has been increased 6 times. Now, the government has created a council to discuss with the people, whether it should be done or not. And all stakeholders are brought in there. And after all 100% stakeholders said not to increase, then the government increases it. So why do you have that meeting with the stakeholders to discuss this? 100% stakeholders have said the gas price barano jitna. After that,
it's a car interest, yes, sir. Are there people?
There is a
cartel.
Cartel, I think so. Otherwise, 2 plus 2 does not make 4.
True.
Why the hell do you may increase gas price? For domestic consumption, which is very few. It's the industrial consumption, and it's our own product. There is একটা জুজুর ভয় দিয়ে রাখা আছে, হ্যাঁ গ্যাস তো শেষ হয়ে যাবে, after so many years and everything. তো এখন I don't know, you're increasing the gas price like anything, and also LNG is being imported now, first time.
From India?
No, Qatar. LNG is in Qatar. India doesn't make LNG. So from Qatar, and since we are not much in the government activities, it's very difficult for us to get information. But the thing is, increasing gas prices.
But as a businessman, you are affected, isn't it?
Yes, we have some gas requirement for our hotel. And
is gas cheaper in the district where you're from? No,
no, it's the same price,
Same
almost
price.
same price. In the city is higher, village is a little bit lower, but more or less the same. Slightly less. And what I'm saying is that when you make this council to discuss whether the gas price should be brought up or not, and 99% people say that no, it shouldn't be increased at all. The government doesn't listen. The government just increased it.
But the members of parliament are there to advise the government.
No, members of parliament don't advise the government. Members of parliament don't. They are nothing. Members of parliament are nothing.
They have select committees.
Pointless. Bekar. Completely pointless. Okay. These are all just shosha. Members of parliament are more interested in their own perks, the duty-free car, and the red passport. That's what all they, they're more interested in. Unfortunately, 6 of my colleagues, they were also too much interested about those, so they went.
What do you see, the future of business activities, tourism, industry in the next 5-10 years for Bangladesh?
Very good.
Very good. Suppose there are a lot of people here from Bangladesh and living here in this country as British citizens. They want to start business there.
What business? Hang on a second.
Yeah. Any business, because they're not aware of.
No, but they're not attuned to do an industrial enterprise.
Right.
Most of them have done service industry over here.
Yeah, like hotels and
restaurants and other things. Yeah. That's the maximum. So they can't go back to the country and do an industrial enterprise. I found out one of my political underling, who used to run a restaurant, was one of the 4 shareholders of a restaurant over here.
Yeah.
He has gone there to make a brick factory.
Brick.
Taking loan from Bangladesh Bank is now giving for automated brick factories. And huge amount, 26 crore taka. But you have to show an equity of 10 crore taka. He doesn't even have an equity of 10 taka. And then some people, there is this gang who makes up this loan proposals, and Bangladesh Bank, this loan is so easy, interest is very low, long term, 2 years, several years grace period, and they'll do the brick factory. I said, what do you know of a big factory? You have been an OCDC over here in onion cutting and dish cleaning in the restaurants over here. What do you know of a big factory? And this huge amount of investment, nearly 30 crore taka investment. How can you manage it? What do you know? And he's a complete illiterate, by the way. He is a complete illiterate. No formal education.
Thank you very much, Nasser Rahman Shah, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure.
Very interesting. When the topic got so interesting, we have come to the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that was Mr. Nasser Rahman, a very distinguished guest from Bangladesh. We hope that you enjoyed the show as much as we have. Same time, same channel, next week. We'll see you again. Bye for now.